earlier this week about Deshaun Watson's season-ending shoulder surgery. Watching on Thursday night, and Joe Burrow goes down with a wrist injury. And I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, Ike, but I'm looking at these quarterback matchups for the next 5 weeks. So you've got Dorian Thompson-Robinson against the Browns on Sunday. Potentially Jake Browning if Joe Burrow can't go the following week against Cincinnati. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray. Patriots, Mac Jones or Baylor Zappe. And then Gardner Minshew with the Colts. Like I said, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, Ike, but when I look at the fact that, okay, let's look at this week, in this week only, Dorian Thompson-Robinson due to start for the Browns. Mike Tomlin is 24-5 during his tenure as the Steelers head coach against rookie quarterbacks.
I mean, here we go, Coach T. You know, Coach T always come up with a game plan. Every time it don't look good for Pittsburgh statistically, and we be talking about, man, we're going to see what Coach T do. Coach T always, whether it's going to the fourth quarterback and Duck Hodges, whether it's getting outgained for the past 9 games, but still having a 6-3 record, Coach T just know what to do, especially going against a rookie quarterback. Schematically, he's definitely going to have a game plan for that.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm just going to be real with you. And we talked a little bit on the phone. I have no intel about this, but the messaging from the Browns saying that Watson sustained a shoulder injury, which he'll have surgery on, and an ankle injury in the second half of that Thursday night game, of Sunday's game against the Ravens. This was the same shoulder he had issues with, and I look back at what history has shown us. 2 years ago when Baker Mayfield had his shoulder injury and he put the harness on and tried to play through it throughout the duration of the season and didn't shut it down until the Browns were eliminated from the playoffs. My point being is this: I have no direct intel on this, but when there's smoke, there's fire. I didn't believe the Browns' messaging for a second. It is just my opinion. You could say, Mark, you're dead wrong. Let me show you the exact play. Here's maybe he re-aggravated the injury, but we know Watson's had injury problems. He's only played in 12 games the last 2 years. It was almost too tactile in their messaging, Ike, in the tweet that the Browns put out to announce the Watson injury. I didn't believe it. And again, I have no direct intel, but that's just my opinion. That's just my own 2 cents worth.
Yeah, just my personal opinion too, Mark. When he landed on that shoulder, it just that was a nail in the coffin. Because my personal opinion, his shoulder been hurt. He was just fighting it out. He was fighting it out. It was on the borderline of a season-ending injury, or can you toughen it out for your teammates in the organization? And Deshaun at the time, he just wanted to toughen it out, be on the field with his teammates, team playing good. Finally was getting in the rhythm with Amari Cooper and company. Even though Nick Chubbs got injured against us at the same time, Ford came back and wound up signing Kareem Hunt. So things was just looking on the up and up for the Cleveland Browns overall in general. Now, as far as like Deshaun Watson, I felt like Ben was hurt. I felt like he was taking one for the team and he was just toughing it out and trying to play on the field. Then when he landed on that shoulder, that was just like the nail in the coffin. Like, okay, I can't take no more. Or I've been trying for the past 6-8 weeks. Man, this ain't gonna work. I'm no good to the team, and now I'm officially hurt. I was hurt, but now I'm injured. And so I always felt like Deshaun was playing hurt, especially with that shoulder. It's just now he got an injury.
And he lit it up in the second half, like 14-14. And we were going in the last time we talked, like, which quarterback's going to emerge? But we finally started to see the flashes that we saw in Houston in that second half against the Ravens. I just look at how the Browns handled a similar situation 2 years ago. And now at least the player's standing up for himself, because I'm going to be honest with you, Ike, 2 years ago, I didn't think Baker Mayfield should have played through that shoulder injury when he literally had the shoulder harness on. And now the Browns were initially going to make him play through, and then they're saying, well, he actually sustained the injury in the first half against the Ravens. It just, the consistency isn't there for me. And this is why I said what I said. And I hope he can get back onto the field quickly, but really quick, like as a player, what we're seeing with Watson, like, I'm never going to wish injury upon any player, right? But, they're saying that this is potentially one of the worst trades in NFL history. And, like, there was no more damning stat, Ike, when Watson's played in 12 games in 2 years. And consider this, the fact that CJ Stroud, the Texans' first pick, the second overall pick in the 2023 draft, he's thrown for more yards just in his rookie season alone compared to the overall games that Watson has played over the last 2 seasons in a Browns uniform.
I
So
mean,
it's not a hyperbole to say that. Go ahead, hop in, Ike.
Yeah, but I mean, what CJ Stroud got going on, like we don't talk about rookies like this often. We don't even talk about rookies at that position like this often. So he's in rare air right now. So
That's
I'm
fair.
I'm a one off that. Far as like Deshaun Watson though, Mark. I mean, the man was on damn near 2-year hiatus off of the things he was going through off the field. When he was at Houston, he was Houston. We want to talk about nobody else but him at Houston. So he was Houston when he was with the Texans. He was him and JJ Watt. Them two was Houston. Point blank. Him, JJ, and D Hop. Them 3 guys were Houston. So you can't take that away from him. The situation with Cleveland, even though Cleveland do have a better roster all the way around when it comes to Houston or Cleveland, he's just been hurt. And we can't keep talking about his contract. Like, it's not his fault that his agent that good and the timing was perfect.
And I will say this too, Ike. I will say this too. The Browns weren't Watson's only suitor. The Browns just ponied up the most guaranteed cash, so he would have gotten paid regardless.
That's not his fault.
That's what I'm saying, though, is there were other suitors out there.
Yeah. Like even with the other suitors, like we tend
Atlanta, Carolina, Ike. There were others.
Yeah, we tend so much to talk about somebody's money. Like, okay, either they earn that money, or the right timing, or somebody really wanted them that bad. Just because I got $240-something million don't mean I should play better. I can't help if I can't help if my ceiling is not that high, but somebody paid me like my ceiling was that high. It don't be the player's fault all the time. You get lucky sometimes. You got to fire your agent. You got to fire your agent. Fire as in a real good agent.
Yeah.
Or a team really wants you that bad. It's one of the 3. So, and everything across the media for Deshaun was, man, if he can just get back to like 60-70% of what he was in Houston, and he was on his way. But again, Mark, I thought he always was playing hurt with that right shoulder. He just wound up injuring that right shoulder, so it's a season-ending injury.